Don't come too close, Joe. You might fall in. The ice here is too thin to support our weight. Give one end of the branch to Amy and help me pull her out.
Here.
Hold on tight, Amy. Come on, now you can make it, Amy. We have to get her home as fast as we can.
We're almost home, Amy. Couple more minutes.
You'll be warm and dry in no time.
Ah, she's finally asleep now.
She's quit shivering, too. I'm so grateful it's not serious.
She'll be all right now.
I think she'll probably sleep through the night.
Yes, they were sensible in covering her up and bringing her home so quickly like that. She'll be fine.
Marmy, I think I'll tell Hannah Amy is safe and asleep now.
Yes, Beth. Now both of you be sure Hannah prepares you a meal. You must be famished. I'll stay with her a while.
Mm-hmm. Should you need us, we shall be nearby, Marmy.
I'll manage now. Now you run along and remember to tell everyone she's fine, all right?
All right.
Sleep peacefully.
Amy's asleep now, Joe. I've come to see how you are. Don't you think it's time you should get out of those wet clothes, Joe? Joe? There's no need to worry about it anymore. Amy's all right now.
Know what?
Yes, what is it?
If she should die, it's all my fault.
Oh, I'm sure you don't really mean that.
'Cause I'm just no good, Meg.
Oh, Joe, that's just silly, and you know it.
No, it's not silly. It's true. I should have warned her about the danger, and I didn't. If anything happens to Amy, it'll be all my fault.
Listen to me, Joe. Laurie said there was nothing you could have done because Amy fell in too fast for you to have stopped her.
That's just it. She wouldn't have fallen in if I had been paying more attention to her. I was responsible for her, Meg.
Joe.
I'm to blame. I'll never forgive myself. I hate myself. I hate myself.
Now look what you've done. You've cut your hand. Oh, listen to me, Joe. You've got to stop this nonsense right now, you hear?
Oh, leave it alone. I deserve it.
Excuse me, Marmy. I need to talk to you. I'm sorry to bother you. It's about Joe. She needs some help.
What's wrong with her? Is it a cold?
No, it's nothing like that. But she's depressed because she's blaming herself for Amy's accident. Could you talk to her, Marmy?
I'm almost through. There now. This'll keep it clean. Now, isn't that much better?
Much better. Thank you, Marmy.
I'm sure you'll be feeling much better by morning, Joe. Amy was blessed to have had both you and Laurie nearby to help her. I shudder to think what would have happened without you. I just hope Amy appreciates what you did for her.
I didn't do anything. Laurie was the one who really saved her. I just did what he told me.
I'm just happy that Amy's back home safe and sound. That's all that matters.
If it wasn't for me, it wouldn't have happened.
Oh, but
how could I be so irresponsible?
The ice broke because it couldn't support Amy. You're not to blame.
It's my terrible temper, Marmy, my temper.
You believe your temper's to blame?
Yes, because I can't stop myself when I'm being like that. I know when I'm bad, but I almost believe I like being mean.
Perhaps I can teach you how to control your temper and how to be more patient.
It's impossible. I'm hopeless, Marmy. Because Amy burnt my book, I decided not to tell her where the ice was thin. I became so angry, I actually believed I didn't care what happened. Marmy, I almost killed Amy. And it's something I'll never forgive myself for. I don't know what to do. Marmy, help me. Please, please help me. Oh. It's all my fault, mine.
You really mustn't be so hard on yourself, darling. I'm sure Amy doesn't blame you, Josephine.
Please help me.
Of course. Joe, dear, we all have something in our souls to resolve. Sometimes it takes us all our lives to conquer it.
Yes, but sometimes I feel that I'm unable to cope. I must try to control myself. Can I learn how to be a little more patient?
You must always try to show compassion for others. Just remember, people are easily bruised by your temper, and the pain stays with them.
All I want is to be just like you.
Allow me to share something with you that I know will help. I know you feel your temper's the worst in the world, and you do your best to keep it in check. But when I was your age, my temper was even worse than yours.
Worse than mine? Then, Marmee, there must be hope for me if you once had a temper and learned to be as patient as you are now.
Of course there's hope for you, Joe, if you're willing to exert the effort. I can remember what a difficult lesson it was for me to learn. But then one day your father told me something that made it much easier for me. He reminded me that my children would depend upon me to show them a good example. I had to do it for your sake.
I feel better now. Perhaps I'm not really quite as bad as I think I am. Oh.
I'll always be here for you to depend on, Joe.
Do you know what, Marmee?
What, dear?
If I'm ever half as good as you, I'll be a happy girl. I'm very lucky to have you as my mother, and most important of all, my friend.
My, that's the best compliment a mother could ask for. My greatest happiness and pride is that all my daughters confide in me, and they all know how much I love them.
Oh, Marmee.
Good afternoon. Excuse me, I'm sorry I was late, Grandfather.
Sit down, it's getting cold. Well, son, I've been told you came back as wet and cold as a drowned mouse.
That's a slight exaggeration, although I did get very wet.
Could you tell me why?
We were skating on the river and Amy fell through the ice.
Fell in the river?
Yes, sir.
So then I assume it was you that rescued her.
Yes, sir, along with Joe.
Well, my boy, how's Amy now?
I think she was more frightened than hurt. It was quite a scare for her, but she'll be all right.
That's good news.
Yes, sir, and Joe tells me Amy's resting quietly now.
Well, this surely can mean only one thing.
Sir?
It's proof positive since the river broke that spring has sprung.
Yes, sir, that's right, Grandfather.
Amazing how time flies. Being able to see you reminds me of my youth. Youth that's quite fleeting, you know. It's like a spring flower ready to bloom. I was quite like you, eager, energetic, inquisitive. It goes by quickly. But somehow, with you here, the reminder of spring approaching makes this old man feel quite young and alive again.
Oh, you're not so old, Grandfather. But I understand what you mean about the beauty of springtime. It's a season of new beginnings, isn't it? And I'm glad we'll be able to greet this spring together. I feel this is a very important time in my life. A time of great changes. I feel myself starting to bloom just like these flowers.
My, you're becoming quite lyrical. Sounds almost like poetry. Must have something to do with the March girl. Josephine is a fine girl indeed, yes, and quite smart at that.
I'm quite fond of Joe, sir.
I'm glad that the two of you have become such close friends. That's important.
Yes, it's very nice to have someone so intelligent to talk to about music and books and poetry and all that Achoo! And in fact, Joe's a good writer herself, and, Achoo! What's the matter with me?
My boy, it seems as though spring will have to be patient and wait just a bit. You've caught cold.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Keep very warm and go to bed as early as possible, and you'll be just fine, my son.
I think I'm all right now. Achoo!
Oh, Amy, please forgive me. Achoo!
Joe?
Oh, I'm Sorry I woke you.
Bless you. Sounds like you're getting a cold. You didn't wake me, Joe. I was already awake. I was just thinking about everything that happened today.
Me too. I've been thinking how dear you are to me, and I could have lost that today.
Joe!
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You saved me.
Oh, Amy, it's my temper. Please, please, can you forgive me?
You had a right to be mad after I burned your book. I'm the one who should apologize. I'm so ashamed of myself, Joe.
Oh, Amy.
Oh, Joe, please say that you forgive me. I love you so much.
I love you too, little sister.
Oh.
Spring finally arrived, and the snow melted along with all the leftover worries of the winter. The days were so clear and beautiful, and the flowers were blooming everywhere we looked. I couldn't sit still. I played outside with my friends from morning till night. This way, Amy. Come on. Joe even did her reading outside while walking along the water. And then one day, it came.
Joe, wait for me! It's here! Oh, let me catch my breath. I ran all the way.
Why are you running, Meg? Is anything wrong? Are you all right?
Yes, everything's fine. In fact, it's more than just fine.
Well, tell me before you burst like a balloon.
It's a letter from Annie Moffat.
Who is Annie Moffat?
You know. Remember, we both met her the night of the ball at Sally's house.
I don't remember.
I believe she took a fancy to me because she invited me to her home. Well, it seems as though she remembered. I mean, I didn't know if she meant it. Isn't it grand?
Yes, Meg, that's real nice.
Joe! The Moffats are the noblest family in all of Portsmouth. I'd have to pack all sorts of dresses. Joe, are you listening?
Oh, but this book is so interesting, Meg.
Yes, isn't it exciting? Oh, Joe, I'm so happy. I can't believe this is really happening.
I suppose you better start thinking about all the ball gowns you're going to be needing.
Oh, Joe, I've got to borrow that beautiful dress Mommy had made for your last birthday. Please, please, I promise to be real careful not to spoil it. Say you will.
Meg, I've got another idea. How about my pink bonnet?
Yes. I can't believe I'm going to the Moffats. It's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Wait a minute, Meg. We forgot all about the private tutoring. You'll have to get permission to make up later on for the lessons you'll miss.
Oh, my. I've completely forgotten all of my responsibilities. I'm almost positive I can do a makeup.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to work something out.
There. Shoo. Boy.
Do you want me to sit on it, Meg?
All right.
I'd better take my shoes off first. I don't want to get the bedspread dirty. There now. Did that get it?
That got it.
I'd better come to the Moffats with you to help you pack when you come back home.
Well, I could fold you into the suitcase and take you along, but then who would shut it for me?
You have a good point there, Meg. On second thought, I'll stay home.
Well, thanks for offering.
Anyway, I'm too busy. Maybe I'll come with you next time.
That's right, Amy. Maybe you will.
I'm just happy for you that you're able to go away on this trip today.
But I feel bad for those poor King children. It's unfortunate they came down with the measles. I hope and pray they get better soon, but it is a bit of a blessing for me, isn't it, Amy?
I believe that blessings come in many, many ways.
Ah. Marmee sent me to give you these stockings to pack.
I don't know if there's room for them in the bag.
Yes. We barely managed to shut it the first time. It's so full.
All right, we'll just do it again.
But we might not be able to get the bag closed a second time.
Mm-hmm. Amy's right. but we'll try and see what happens. Oh, dear!
Oh, no, Meg! It exploded!
Oh.
I'm sure I don't know what your mother could be thinking.
What?
It amazes me that Mary could be so frivolous sending Meg away for 2 weeks to a family she knows nothing about. In my day, those things just weren't done. We used common sense and decency. I'm almost of a mind not to let her go myself, but I won't interfere in your mother's business.
But Aunt March, Marmee does know the Moffat family. Well, actually, Mr. Lawrence is the one that really knows them, and he said they're wonderful people. I'm positive there will be no problem, Auntie.
Perhaps, if he knows them.
Yes, there shan't be anything to worry about.
Well, I suppose they'll have parties and dancing till all hours, won't they? Well, it seems if my memory serves me correctly, there usually are shenanigans going on. And believe me, I just don't want my Meg to be a part of it.
But Aunt March, that's like saying we should stay home and never go to any parties. It doesn't seem fair.
I'm afraid you don't see my point, dear. It is perfectly fine if one goes to a party and then comes right back home. But it's a different matter if one is staying at someone else's home without a proper chaperone. There, then it seems it's all settled.
But Auntie, Marmee has thought this all through very carefully. She decided that Meg could go to the Moffats by herself without a chaperone. Auntie, please don't worry about Meg. She'll be fine. Nothing bad will happen.
I'll pray to the Almighty that Meg will be all right.
I promise she'll be fine. May I borrow your coach? I'll need it for a couple of hours.
Very well.
What a beautiful day. Where would you like to go riding?
I'm letting you decide today.
Well, how about down by the river?
Hi! Hi, Lori!
Whoa! Good morning, Amy. What are you doing standing up here all by yourself?
I was just waiting for Joe to come back.
Joe's away?
That's right. She borrowed Aunt March's coach to take Meg to the station because she's going to the Moffats. Hey, there she is!
Huh? What do you say? Maybe we can accompany them to the station. Meg will be in Portsmouth for quite a while, and it would be nice to be able to say goodbye.
All right, Lori. I'll go see if Meg is ready yet.
Mr. Brooke, I hope you don't mind I took the liberty of speaking to Amy on your behalf as well as mine, do you?
Bye. Bye. I hope you have a wonderful trip, dear. Now, try not to be timid. Just be yourself, and everyone will love you just as we do.
I'll remember, Marmee. I'll make you proud of me. Bye,
Goodbye,
Hannah.
child.
This weighs a ton, Meg!
Mr. Brooke and I would be delighted to be able to accompany Meg to the station. The coach waits outside if you please.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen.
Such fun.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Hello. Sir?
Oh, morning.
Well?
Meg, we don't have that much time left. Come on.
Okay?
Thank you, Lori, for all your help.
I want to come with you to see Meg off at the station, all right, Joe?
Yes, but I'm not going directly home. After we drop Meg off at the station, I'll be going to Aunt March's to bring back the coach.
Gosh, it'll be an awful long walk back to the house, won't it, Joe?
Well, Amy, are you going to come with us or not?
I am.
Well, it's time we're off. Yeah. Bye! Bye, Meg! Bye!
Bye, everybody!
We'd better get going if we're gonna catch up with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Brooke and I will make certain you get there on time, Meg. Did you know that Mr. Brooke is an expert cavalryman?
Oh, really? Is that right, Mr. Brooke?
Well, I wouldn't call myself an expert.
I'm afraid Mr. Brooke is just being modest, Meg. Actually, I'm sure there's nobody who can compare to him.
How grand.
Thanks. Bye.
Goodbye, and thank you for the escort.
I think that tutor of Laura's is sweet on you, Meg. Have you noticed the way he looks at you?
Oh, what are you talking about? That's absolute nonsense.
And it's pretty obvious that you like him. Yeah.
I'm glad Mr. Brooke likes her.
Amy, you're too little to know about such things.
I know what I'm talking about.
Well, Mr. Brooke, congratulations to you.
Congratulations for what?
You finally got up the nerve to speak to Meg, didn't you?
Oh. Yeah!
Bye, Joe. Bye, Amy. Say goodbye to Beth and Marmee for me.
I will. Goodbye.
I'll write you.
Bye. Bye.
Meg finally left, happy and excited to be on her way. She'll have days of laughter and she'll dance the nights away. Oh, how I envy her.
Fortunes of war.